Hello angling friends, Lance here with Live Fish Food. I'm going to try and catch a fish on Cheech's fly. This is the Jiggy Fat Minnow.
Fly Fish Food.
And I don't normally fish flies tied by Cheech, but since this fly was actually my idea, not Cheech's, and he's down in Mexico checking the specs on some rotary girder or something like that, we're going to see if we can catch a fish on it.
That did not just happen.
That didn't take very long.
Now Cheech's head's gonna be so big.
No, it's not, because we know Cheech wouldn't have been able to do that. Burn. Alright, this hook pops out easy. Give him a drink for a sec.
All right, first cast.
Fish number one on the Jiggy Fat, Cheech. You're going the wrong way, fish. It's this direction. Attaboy.
There he goes. Okay, so I guess it works. Gosh.
I guess it worked.
Tutorial link in the
Unfortunately.
description.
You might need some Jiggy Fat in your life.
Hey, so we're out on the water today. We've got two brand spanking new rods. The G Loomis NRX Plus. This is a 4-weight 10-footer. You can use it for dry flies. You can use it for like Euro streamer type jig flies. Maybe not the greatest straight Euro nymphing rod, but this is a good multi-purpose tool. We've also got the new Orvis 10-foot 3-weight Recon. And so we're gonna be using both of those. They're both, the NRX is available now, the NRX Plus. The Orvis Recon will be ready in the spring, so you might be watching this and it's already available. So we'll be fishing both of these rods and kind of giving thoughts on what we think about them, and maybe catch a fish or two.
Alright, so we just caught a fish on Cheech's fancy Jiggy Fat Minnow using the new Loomis NRX Plus. This is the 10-foot 4-weight. We used it here for a little bit of Euro jigging, a little Euro jig streamer technique. It's a very versatile rod though. It's pretty strong, so it actually was a great indicator type rod. It would throw small streamers really well, drying a dropper really well. These long rods are gaining in popularity because they allow a lot more line control. You can high stick, you can mend better. They still cast just like a 9-footer, but 10-foot 4-weight, pretty cool stick. All right, so I've been doing a little bit of nymphing with the new Orvis Recon. This is the 10-foot 3-weight. They've clearly upgraded the reel seat. They've got a nicer decal on it. Looks nice and clean. It's still very light, just like the original Recon. It's really easy to cast. It's got a very soft action, so it's easy to cast a Euro rig. I've got what we call a micro thin leader for Euro nymphing. Basically, really thin material all the way down, thin cider. My cider's basically 4X, and I've got 4X diameter material. It's not 4X tippet, but 4X diameter material all the way up to right near the fly line, and then I have a couple little teeny junctions that step down from the fly line to get to that 4X. So this rig is really hard to cast because it's very thin, but allows me to fish far away and allows me to fish small light flies on the new Orvis Recon.
So,
well, these fish are kicking our butts. We got a little bit of wind. I tried nymphing them up. They're not playing nice. So they started to see a few betas, and let's see if I can get him on hooks here. Started to see a few betas and a few heads coming up. So I switched the Euro rig out to a real tiny dry and a dropper. And then this little brownie that is apparently very well hooked on a barbless hook. There we go. That little guy decided to eat the dry. So we don't mind a little dry fly fishing, even if they're small.
So what he's got is a dry fly is the first dropper. The point fly is a nymph with a bead. So the point fly anchors your whole rig. That's why you can still fish that on a Euro setup. I think we've talked about it in another video. And then the dry fly just kind of skitters on the surface because it's a dropper. And the fish will eat the dropper, or that, well, technically the dry fly is the dropper, but they'll eat either one.
All you gotta do is ask for one to eat the dropper.
Got him on the dropper.
This might be blasphemy, but this is basically a tungsten-headed RS2. RS2s I don't think are supposed to be tungsten, but that one is. Little brownie.
At least he ate it.
Little brownie.
Oh, and by the way, the dry flies are being handled with the Recon. So again, it's just a Euro rig, long leader, dropper is the dry fly, the point fly is the nymph.
Another dropper eater.
Well, dropper eater's better than no eater.
Indeed. Little brownie. That was a different dropper. This one has a CDC soft tackle. Basically a thread Frenchie with a CDC soft tackle.
Well, it worked.
It worked.
Got one on the streamer.
It doesn't count when they're fouled.
Well, his bad for getting in the way.
He did get in the way. My guess is he tried to eat the top fly and ended up getting fouled on the bottom fly. I missed two smaller fish before him.
So what are you fishing here?
So we switched. The weather got a little sunny right this second, but the weather got a little bit sour on us. The wind picked up, nymphing got tough. The blue wings kind of stopped hatching as much, so we were seeing less risers. So I took the old 10-foot 4-weight and switched it over to a regular fly line, just a weight forward 4 fly line, and I've got a 2-streamer rig. So a relatively short leader to my top streamer, and then a triple surgeon's knot to a tag to my top fly, and then maybe 4 feet back I have a second tungsten streamer. So they're both just smallish buggers, not crazy heavy. They both have tungsten heads, but they're not really hard to cast because they're relatively light. So the 4-weight works really well for that. Gives us enough play to protect the tippet and to also have fun fighting the kind of medium-sized fish we're encountering today. And then the last thing I really like about the 10-footer is that the length of it allows me to mend. I do a lot of mending when I'm streamer fishing, where I throw out and across and mend upstream or downstream to achieve the speed that I want with my flies. So the longer rod is a real advantage when you're fishing a couple of small streamers.
Getting it done with the streamers. Which color?
Black.
Black. Good looking trout.
Black streamer brown. Back on the black.
Another streamer eater. Black?
Back on the black one. Put the ginger on and got a couple of swirls, but what it takes, I've been on black. Not bad.
I need a net. There we go. Gosh, Lance leaves me alone for 2 minutes when I catch fish of the day. I don't know about that.
Pretty good one.
On a streamer, he took the ginger.
Ginger streamer.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Bunch of luck, that's what.
The NRX Plus strikes again.
Another one on the ginger. Nice little fish. NRX can throw some streamers. Here's Lance's comeback.
Cheech let me borrow one of his fish. All the way from Mexico.
National Make Fun of Cheech Day because he's in a different country.
That's right.